What's going on, guys? Travis with RAC Garage. Today we're working on 37 delivery. Again, that tough panel, trying to get it done. Made a smaller piece, only 30 inches rather than 36, and 10 inches. So I think I'll get it to fit in that center there a little better than the other panel. So I just cleaned off my slip roll. I'm going to put a little gentle curve in this to start with. Maybe put a break on each edge. Not too sure yet to try to get the shape. So let's just slip it and see what happens. All right, so I got this piece slipped. And I measured from the sill plate here to the edge of the door. And if I move it in, it's like an inch here where I replaced it. And in the middle, it's like 1 1/8 inches, and over here 1 1/8 inches. So I think it's about an inch. So I'm gonna make it 1 inch, and I'll mess with the door to get that gap right. So I'm gonna break 1 inch flange here, and I'll probably have to shrink it to conform to this slight arc here. So I'll do that and I'll see what happens. See what it gets me. Alright, so I think we're getting there. I broke this edge and shrunk it, stretched it till it matched the curvature, slight curvature of this panel here. And it's looking pretty good, enough to cut and weld it in, which I'm not doing yet. But it's got a nice, gentle curve that way. So we'll see. I think I'll fix this flange here because I think it's at too much of an angle, so I gotta unbend it a touch just so it matches this angle here, and then we should be golden on this anyway for now, until we make the bead in it and flange it over the edge here. So right now, yeah, I'll just fix this flange, which I think is just the edges. This seems to be fine right here. It's just this one seems to be poking in, and this end also poking in. So I'm gonna go fix that. Then, start hammering out a corner, which is gonna be quite difficult, but let's get to it. Alrighty, so I got this little corner piece slip rolled to the same radius as this piece here. So it'll fit nice here, of course, because it's the same, but then it drops off here. So I need to shrink that corner down, so it'll meet back up with this. But I also want this curve here still. And I want it here also. So it's kind of tricky as to what I want to do. I think from from like here let's see, from like here over, shrink it, shrink a lot over here, a little bit as it comes over here, then that'll come down. Might have to do some shrinking here. I'll do a little bit and see what happens. Good thing it's only a 10 by 10 square. It's not that much I'm wasting when I mess it up. So hopefully I can get it first try, but most likely not. So let's see. Shrink it down. Yeah. Let me shrink it down, see what happens, and we'll go from there. This is kind of a weird, tricky kind of transition. It's going this way into a concave. It's like not that I don't understand it, but it's kind of weird. Alright, so I whipped up these dies quick just to make a little profile for this half a bead. I mimicked this here because I think it's going to be pretty much the same. I'm going to come down and the bead's going to start, and I can finish the bead later on. If I use this for something else, I can just kind of flip it around, do the same thing, and I can cut it and make a full bead, but this is like a half one. So, and this is all this really needs here anyways, a half a bead. So I just transferred this pattern, the bottom anyway, to the scrap piece that I tried to make. Yeah, to the scrap piece that I tried to make here earlier. So I'm going to try and follow that line best I can, and kind of just, you know, go for it right now and see what happens. Just kind of another test, but on a curve. See if I can follow it nice and see what happens, really. All right, so I was kind of skeptical about this thing, but it actually, don't mind the shaky line because I didn't use any backstop or anything, but that's like exactly what I'm looking for. To continue this down and around. Man. Yeah. So, let me check that out. You know, nice soft, soft line there. Maybe let me do a real one, see what happens. All right, so I was, so this edge here wasn't really perfect the way I wanted. It was kind of little bumps in here because I just did it with hand snips. And I took, what did I do? I took this body file and I put the arc in it with this adjustment here, the way you can do all the time. And I matched it to what I wanted this edge to be. So I had this on the vise and I'm going along, getting more confident. Oh, slip off, cut my pinky. Again, sheet metal. So it's wrapped up in tape and a Band-Aid, which I don't know if it's going to do anything. It's pretty deep. So I guess fool me once, shame on me. Remember I cut my hand the other day? Oh, the other day, it's probably months ago now. Fool me twice, shame on me. I should have been wearing gloves because I know I'm something so stupid. Filing the edge of a piece of sharp sheet metal. Come on, dude. I knew better than that. So, gloves are on. A little too late, but they're on. And no, I'm still not going to be using gloves 100% of the time. But if I'm doing risky stuff like that, gloves, dude, come on. Stupid. So, I made a little backstop for the die on the bottom because I only want to go up. It's about 3 inches. So, made the mark, made the stop. Not really going to pay attention to the mark. I'm going to hold it on the edge because now this is going to transfer it 3 inches to that center. So, enough talking, let's see if it'll actually work. For the most part, it seems all right. Looking good. man. Shit. Would you look at this? Would you look at this? Oh man. This is good. I'm obviously far away from the final result, but it's coming together. It's working the way I want it to. So would you just look at this? Oh, would you just look at it? Oh, man, that's good. Okay. Let me get. This might work. Damn. All right, so that's it's what I'm going for. It's obviously not perfect, but that's what the gist of it is. See, that's where you would step. Beads coming around. This is the quarter that comes up. Gave myself extra here, definitely extra here. We'll see what this can look like. Okay, so the bead is looking good. Well, it's choppy. I need to actually make a new piece of here, I think. I think it's too wobbly in here. I might be able to fix it. I'll try it for a few minutes, but if it seems to be too much, I won't waste my time. I'll just make another one. But this bead here is going in here. This break has got to come down to meet up with this one, and it needs to curve in and do something funky there. This bead, I can bend that down to meet up with here, no problem. This, I kind of just need to recreate, add some material to here, because all it's doing, it's bumping up here with this bead, and then it's kind of just staying flat until it squares off here. So there's nothing complicated here to make other than a square. Kind of like a box corner is what I'm making here, so that's not too bad. I might do this for both sides and I'm liking this centerpiece here. I really don't see an issue with this. So this will stay. So I need to finesse these pieces here, but I think it's coming along. It looks good. Take you off the stand here and show you. So I wish this was like where it was, because it's kind of, if I pull up on this, it meets that perfectly and it looks good, but the door is not going to fit like that. So this needs to come down And this also, actually it might not have to be moved. I think I could just cut it here and push that down. Who knows? Because it's the right length, obviously, because I pull it up and it meets that. The bead matches down at the bottom. Yeah. All right, so right now I've been working on this transition from here to this center panel here. It's kind of been tricky, kind of beating it into shape. Now I need to do the same with up here, I think. Maybe, I don't know. I'll see what the wheel does when I smooth it out. But it's actually looking pretty good. I might just use this and fill in here with a little scrap. I'll extend this piece. I'll weld this on to extend this. And then I just got to recreate this on the other side. So I should actually start that before I finish. All right, so I got the 3 main pieces built, fabbed up. I did this one off camera because it's the same thing pretty much as that one. Still need to cut this, kind of bend it over like this side. You know, it's I actually think I'm going to use these pieces. They didn't come out half bad. So, you know, there'll be some, I don't know, there'll be some tweaking, and I'll have to kind of mess with the bead a little bit. I kind of fixed this one on the Polmax. This one came out really good. So I'm gonna actually drill this one now, Cleco it, maybe put a Cleco strap here because it's actually butted up quite nicely to this bottom panel. So yeah, you know, start cruising. And for these Clecos, if you guys don't know, it's just an 1/8 inch hole. Squeeze it, kind of comes together. When you let go, it expands. That's what I hold everything together with. Take the back off, cut down here, bend it, kind of like this one, just so it matches. And maybe I'll be able to put the door on. I've come to the conclusion, I think, that the bottom of the door needs to be repaired. I did one repair in the corner, but I'm going to kind of write that off. I'll redo that when I do the whole bottom. I'm just going to do the whole bottom and make it fit this area here. I think it's just going to be easier than having this panel I'm making fit all the different pieces. It's one less thing to have this fit, and I'll just make the door fit the opening. I feel like it'd be a lot easier. All right, little man's hungry, so we gotta go get some lunch or dinner. It's like 3 o'clock. But rear panel is shaping up. So you can see the bead follows down right there, comes back, meets the other side. Shaping up pretty nicely. The boss approves. So again, like on the other side, I need to extend this, bring it over to the edge of this bead, come down pretty much to here and over. So that'll be pretty easy. He doesn't like the Cleco placement apparently. Same on the other side. And then I got to make a flange on the bottom that will meet up to the inner panel that I haven't put a flange on yet either. So I need to make 2 flanges and make sure they're touching and be able to weld them together. But I think it's coming out pretty good. It looks the way it should. It does kind of look a little funny right now because it doesn't have the squared off edge right there. It's kind of just round. That's not the way it's going to be. It's going to be squared off like that. So, back on it tomorrow morning. All right, back at it this morning. You saw me trimming and messing with a couple things. I got this seam all trimmed up. Also have this seam all trimmed up. So I'm gonna weld these two seams up, and then this will be one piece, still not attached to the body yet. And then I'm gonna take, I just made some rough pieces to, come on, it's kind of go in here to flatten this, bring it out, square it up. So I'll start shaping these after I weld the seams up, and you know, should be good. I just have to, I might make a die for this edge. It's kind of like the edge of the bead, but not really. It is over here, but then it's just kind of, it's a gentle curve around to here. So I'll mess with it, see if I can do something like that. I'm not sure really what it's supposed, I know what it's supposed to look like. I got some pictures, but it's kind of, it's tough. It's not really a bead and it's not a corner. It kind of rolls around, in this corner right here where it would be is like just a real soft corner. So I'm, you know, it's kind of tough to explain, but we got to get it done. But this is looking real nice. I'm real happy with this. And once these get squared off, again, it's going to look the way it's supposed to. It'll kind of come up, curve up to here, and then this fender kind of kicks out a bit. So it's kind of a cool look. I think the way it's supposed to be anyway, but yeah. That'll come right around, meet up with there, and the fender kicks out. I'm not sure where to start bending this over yet. I gotta get the bumper on here and see what it looks like. But I'm digging it. Okay, so I got this rear panel, the piece that I have done so far, kind of clecoed in place. I had to adjust it because I took measurements from the corner up to the strip rail, that corner up to the drip rail, and also did measurements to the bead line from the bottom to the bead line, and it was off. So I had to move this one down a little bit and this one up to kind of compensate. And now it looks square and the way it's supposed to be. It's all G. So I think my next step is gonna be to take this off. It's only a couple clecos holding it on, one on each end. And the lip that goes underneath this right here, I think I'm just gonna cut it right off and weld this to this. So it'll be another piece of the puzzle, kind of getting everything welded together. And then I want to work on shaping these corners, because I think I do want to make a die for this, just to kind of get this edge rolled over the way I want it. It'll make it nice and easy, just hammer it right over. So I'm going to make a die for that, to knock those edges over, make it the way it's supposed to be, and we'll just get going. So let me take that off, cut the lip off, and start welding it to the piece that we just made. we get the boss man back in here. Say hi, Shepherd. Hi. 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 What do you got? Cleco pliers? He's got a bun in to keep that hair out of his face. Needs a haircut. So, I made super simple. Out of aluminum. Just a little radius. It's not even perfect, as you can see. Not perfect. But pretty much made exactly what I was looking for. Curved radius that will finish off that bead. Look at that. Perfect almost. So on here, what it would look like something like that, you know. So this worked out good. Might need to wheel that center because it made a crease at the end of the die, but you know, trial and error with dies, you know. You just don't get it right the first time, you try again, or just tweak what you made. So I'm just going to tweak this, hit that quick in the English wheel. That should get rid of that line, and that should be perfect. Yeah, Cleco. So here's my test piece for the edge to roll over here and square off. So the bead comes in and I have it come back out slightly to kind of go straighten out. And I just put this detail in here just because I had the dies and it's really easy to do. So this is about where it would be. Kind of come down and straighten out. Might have to come down. Actually, I think it's good here. It just comes down and meets this, so I just need more material here. But I think I need to do the same curve here. So I need to make another strip, a long strip, with this same curve in it. So I can transfer this radius here along the bottom on the arc that I want it. And I'll do that. I guess I'll make another one of these for the other side. Then that bottom with this radius, and then splice everything together. Cut it where I need it. If I think I like these, Shepherd, watch where you're walking, buddy. If I like these lines better than the ones I had in here, I'll cut it off here or splice it in. I'll figure it out. What's the matter, buddy? Hurt your pee-pee? Alright. Enough. We're going outside in a minute. Yeah. Alright, so that's the gist of this. It's coming together. Just like I said before, it's meeting so many different places. It was really ambitious of me to try and make this out of one piece. As I'm in the middle of it, that's definitely not an option. If I was better at metal shaping, I could have probably done it in 3. And if there was one here I could kind of go off of, it would be a little easier. But I'm kind of just making this from imagination and pictures, so it's kind of difficult. But it's coming together. I should have the other piece done tomorrow morning for the other corner and this bottom radius here, because that'll be easy. I know what I'm going to do. But at the same time, I'm going to have to make it out of 2 pieces welded in the middle and then send it through the die, because I don't have a break. I mean, what do you call it? I don't have a shear that'll cut 36 inches long. No. I don't even know how wide this is. Shepard, where'd you put my tape measure? Where's the tape measure? Did you take it? Yes. Yeah. Well, I gotta use these tools right now, bud. So I don't have a shear. Yeah, that'll cut like 4 or 5 feet. Yeah, because that's how wide this is. But yeah, as you can see, it's like almost there. With this corner in here, that'll look nice on each side. Come on, dude. And then this rollover on the bottom too. It'll really complete the whole thing. Kind of get it to what I'm trying to show you guys. Maybe you can kind of visualize it now. It's going to be squared off, but it's looking good. I think my supervisor approves. Shepard, you like it? You like it? You like hammers. All right, back in the shop in the morning. I made these little pieces. I think I made that one last night, and I made this one this morning. Trimmed them. I'm gonna keep in the original body line because on this one I had here, I had it. It was off. It wasn't the correct line, so I trimmed those. Kind of clamped them where they're going to be. I'm going to take the clecos off, mark it from the back side, cut it, weld it to the pieces, to the piece. So then it's going to be another piece welded to it. You know, this might be the hard way. I really don't think it is. I think me trying to mess with stuff, having everything in the correct position is more difficult, at least for me. I know I tried to make it in one piece, but yeah, that's not happening. Not even 3, like 16. But I'll finish the seams out so it will look like one piece. Mint. So let me take this off, scribe them, cut them, tack them in place, put it back on, make sure it fits. know it ain't gonna fit perfect, but you know, we'll see. It's not fitting half bad though, I'll tell you that for free. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, that ain't too bad. That ain't teabag. Alright, so obviously what I gotta do in these corners, since I can, whoo, that's hot. Because I can pretty much stick my finger in there, just bend that down and around, form that, because I obviously moved after it got welded. Same with the other side. This one's not too bad. I might even just use a corking tool and kind of hit that bead there and kind of knock everything down. That might help. And yeah, so now, like over here, this bead comes down and just ends until the end of the panel here. Same with the other side. Now I need to put this edge on the bottom here. So I got my corners where I need them to be. Might pull it out or some, you know, tweak it a bit, but it's about where I want it. Now I'll make a piece that'll pretty much go to the edge, to this bead here, and roll it over. Just got to make sure I have enough. I'll put the bumper back on and see how much room I need to achieve that, and you know, we'll get cooking. Let me just finish that weld off. I'll hammer it flat quick, and then you know, polish it off, make it look like this one. Nothing super special, but you know, making it disappear for the most part, make it not look like it's made of 16 different pieces, maybe 3 or so. Yeah, as you can see, that bead will continue down, wide now, just like that. And this will end right there at the bottom. Once I get that bottom piece on, it'll just like put it all together. I know it's starting to look like something now, but it'll look even more like something when I have the bottom all fleshed out and finished. So yeah, and then once I do that, I gotta crawl underneath and put a lip on this inner panel, so when I have the piece that comes straight down, it'll be able to what do you call it? It'll be able to spot weld to each other here. So there's gonna be a seam there. You know, getting it all buttoned up. It's crazy how much work is in this little panel here, when like almost every other car from 35 to 40 you can get this pan for. Slampbacks, humpbacks, coupes, roadsters, sedans, they make them for everything besides the sedan delivery. So that's why we're doing this. Alright, here I got the sides on. somewhat metal finish. It's not perfect, but this is not the job to go perfect on. So it's looking really good. Just like I said, now I just need to do the bottom piece, and I'm going to use that same die as this bottom to kind of create that curve. You know, guess we'll just start getting after it. I know it's going to have to have a couple cutouts for the bumper brackets. I have to create those in that bottom piece. So this is also going to be like a tricky little piece here. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to tackle it yet. I got to think about it for a minute. But I think, well, I'm definitely going to have to do it in two pieces. This half and that half, because I don't have a sheet of steel that long, and my shear won't cut a piece that long anyway. So regardless, it's got to have to be two pieces, not because I can't do it in one. I physically can't do it in one. So let me figure out what I got to do, and I'll come back to you. Essentially, I just have to make this curve yay long and just run it through the die to get that bend on it, and it should be pretty good. Then I just kind of do a couple notches. I just don't know how big to make those. That's the only issue here, and where exactly to make it. But you know, that'll come to me. I can always figure that out. All right, but I am not going to do that bottom piece in this video. I'm going to save it for the next video. I want to try and do 2 videos a week, so we'll see how that goes. Right now, I'm kind of cutting it off. It's Wednesday. Should have cut it off like Tuesday, but we'll see. I'm not sure when I'm going to be dropping the videos. Maybe Wednesday, Thursday. It'll kind of depend until I get on a schedule, if I like it. But it's coming out amazing. Way better than I thought. Not that I thought it was going to be bad. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. It's coming out good. So, catch you guys on the next one. We'll finish this panel up. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, clicking the bell, sharing the videos. You guys know what to do. Thank you.